Objective Geology, multiple choice questions with answers. This is the solved question paper of APRCET Geoengineering and Geoinformatics 2023 question paper. And I hope this solved question paper is useful for various competitive exams like CSR, NET-GATE, GSI and other exams. Welcome to set 4. Coming to the first question. Which resolution has the capability to view the same targets under similar condition at regular interval? The choices are A. Spectral, B. Radiometric, C. Spatial and D. Temporal. The resolution which has the capability to view the same targets under the similar condition at regular intervals is known as a temporal resolution. So, temporal resolution is defined as the amount of the time needed to revisit and acquire the data for the exact same location. When applied to remote sensing, so this amount of the time, it depends upon the orbital characteristics of the sensor platform as well as the sensor characteristics. So, temporal resolution, it has the capability to view the same targets under similar condition at regular interval. D is the correct option. Next question. Which resolution relates to how much information is perceived by a satellite sensor? The choices are A. Spectral resolution, B. Radiometric resolution, C. Spatial resolution and D. Temporal resolution. So, the correct option goes as a B. Radiometric resolution. Radiometric resolution is a measure of how much information a satellite sensor can perceive, and it's determined by the sensor's sensitivity to the magnitude of the electromagnetic energy when capturing an image. And radiometric resolution is also known as a dynamic range, which is the number of output numbers in each band of data. So, here B. Radiometric resolution, it relates to the information perceived by a satellite sensor. Next question. Which of the following waves are used in remote sensing technique? A. Electric waves, B. Sound waves, C. Wind waves and D. Electromagnetic waves. Obviously, electromagnetic waves are used in remote sensing technique. D is the correct option. Next question. Polar orbit satellites has an inclination of about how many degrees to the body's equator? Choices are A. 60 to 90 degrees, B. 60 to 100 degrees, C. 60 to 110 degrees and D. 60 to 125 degrees. Polar orbit satellites, they have an inclination of about 60 to 90 degrees. A is the correct option. A polar orbit is one in which a satellite passes above or nearly above both the poles of the body which is being orbited. So, that is usually a planet such as the Earth, but possibly another body such as the Moon or Sun as well on each revolution. So, it has an inclination of about 60 to 90 degrees to the body's equator. So, A is the correct option. Next question. Which among the following rocks are formed when minerals are deposited and accumulated in the stratas? A. Sedimentary rock, B. Metamorphic rock, C. Igneous rock and D. Siliceous rock. The rocks which are formed when minerals are deposited and accumulated in the stratas are obviously sedimentary rock. A is the correct option. Next question. Arrange the electromagnetic waves according to their increasing order of wavelength. A. Gamma rays, infrared, ultraviolet and X-rays. B. Gamma rays, X-rays, UV and infrared. C. X-rays, ultraviolet, gamma rays and infrared. D. Infrared rays, gamma rays, X-rays and ultraviolet rays. So, the correct option is B, that is gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet and infrared rays. So, gamma rays have the less than 1 nanometer and X-rays they have roughly around 1 to 10 nanometers wavelength, and ultraviolet rays they have 10 to 400 nanometers, and visible light is about 400 to 800 nanometers, and infrared rays 800 to 105 nanometer. So, the according to the increasing order of wavelength, the option goes as gamma rays, X-rays, UV rays and infrared rays. B is the correct option. Next question. Which of the following is not a characteristic of remote sensing? The choices given are A. Radiometric resolution, B. Spatial resolution, C. Mercator resolution, D. Spectral resolution. So, correct option is C. Mercator resolution. It is not a characteristic of remote sensing. The Mercator projection is a conformal cylindrical map projection presented by Flemish geographer and cartographer Gerardus Mercator in 1569. So, this is not characteristic of remote sensing. So C is the correct option. Next question. By which following agency launched RadarSat-1 on November 28, 1995? A. Canadian Space Agency, B. Indian Space Agency, C. European Space Agency, and D. Japan Space Agency. So the correct option is A. Canadian Space Agency. RadarSat-1 is the first Canadian developed and commercially operated Earth observation satellite with the objective to monitor environmental change. So A. Canadian Space Agency is the correct option. Next question. The process of examining a remote sensing image and manually identifying features in the image is called as A. Image building, B. Image interpretation, C. Image classification, D. Image compression. The correct option is image interpretation. Image interpretation is the process of assigning semantic labels to different parts of an image, which is using statistical techniques, and it's often used to analyze aerial photos and photo-like images, and can involve extracting qualitative and quantitative information. Next question. In the 1986 Spot French Earth satellite provided first time spatial resolution at A. 40 meters panchromatic and 50 meters multispectral, B. 10 meters panchromatic and 20 meters multispectral, C. 20 meters panchromatic and 30 meters multispectral, and D. 30 meters panchromatic and 30 meters multispectral. So the correct option is B. 10 meters panchromatic and 20 meters multispectral. Next question. Which of the following is considered as the fourth dimension of the remote sensing? Choices are A. Location, B. Scale, C. Time, and D. Space. So the correct option is C. Time. Time is considered as the fourth dimension of remote sensing. Next question. IFOV is angular cone of visibility of the following: A. Sensor, B. Image, C. Scanner, D. Satellite. So the correct option is A. Sensor. IFOV is angular cone of visibility of a sensor. Next question. The energy captured by remote sensing sensor is called as A. Emissivity, B. Radiance, C. Reflectance, D. Irradiance. The energy captured by remote sensing sensor is called as radiance. B is the correct option. In remote sensing, radiance is the amount of the electromagnetic energy that an object or a scene emits or reflects. So it's a variable that remote sensing instruments directly measure, and it has units of watt or steradian per square meter. Next question. Which index can be calculated using the band ratio band 3, band 7, band 3 plus band 7 of Landsat 8? The options are A. NDVI, B. NDII, C. NDWI, and D. EVI. So the correct option is NDWI. NDWI is nothing but the normalized difference water index. It is a remote sensing index that uses satellite images to highlight open water bodies and monitor changes in surface water content. It's calculated using the green and near infrared bands of an image, and is less sensitive to atmospheric effects than the normalized difference vegetation index, that is NDVI. Next question. Which of the following remote sensing technique is used for the identification of dense forest? A. Thermal image, B. Microwave image, C. Aerial photograph, and D. High resolution optical image. So the correct option is thermal image. So thermal remote sensing is a technique to measure the radiation emitting from the ground object of any entity. Next question. In a minimum noise factor, that is MNF, transformed satellite image, noise has A. Unit variance, B. Multivariance, C. 2 standard deviation, and D. 0 variance. So the correct option is A. Unit variance. The scales, this unit variance is the scales the data so that the variance of each feature becomes 1. Hence the term unit variance. So A is the correct option. Next question. The characteristic of electromagnetic radiation are particularly important to understand what in the remote sensing. A. Wavelength. B. Frequency. C. Wavelength and frequency. D. Bandwidth. So the correct option is wavelength and frequency. The characteristic of electromagnetic radiations, this is important to understand the wavelength and frequency of remote sensing. Next question. Write down the full form of DGPS. The choices are A. Differential Global Positioning System. B. Difference Global Positioning System. C. Differential Global Political System. D. Difference Global Partitioning System. So the correct option is DGPS is obviously Differential Global Positioning System. Differential Global Positioning System is a technique that improves the accuracy of location data which is collected using GPS receivers, and DGPS it can increase the accuracy from about 15 meters to 1 to 3 centimeters. Next question. Among the following, which can be expressed as an example of hardware component? A. AutoCAD. B. ArcGIS. C. Digitization. D. Keyboard. So keyboard can be expressed as an example of hardware component. Next question. Pick odd one out with respect to key activities in urban planning. The choices are A. Drafting. B. Mapping. C. Monitoring. And D. Management. So the correct option is A. Drafting, whereas the other like mapping, monitoring and management, they are the key activities in urban planning. So this is not that much related. So that's why A is the correct option. Hope you have followed the content of this question paper, and see you in the next video. Thank you for your time. Hope you can explore geosciences. Thank you.